They never tell you the real reason most people don't make it past 82. But once you understand the 85% rule, it changes how you look at aging forever. Because the truth is, most people don't die of old age. They die of habits. They die from quiet, daily decisions that slowly chip away at their health, their energy, and their will to keep going. The worst part? Most of those choices feel normal, harmless, even comfortable. That's how they sneak in. That's why they work. See, there's a reason only 15% of people reach 82 and beyond with clarity, strength, and independence. It's not just luck or genes. It's not about eating kale and drinking lemon water. It's about what they avoid. Specifically, 5 daily mistakes that the other 85% make without thinking. And I'm here to walk you through them. Not to scare you, but to show you that most of them can be changed today. Starting now. Let's begin with the first mistake. The one that's so common, it's practically a senior stereotype. Long, unbroken periods of sitting. Whether it's at the kitchen table, in a recliner, or on a front porch swing, many people spend upwards of 10 to 12 hours a day seated. And I get it. The body hurts more. The knees don't bend like they used to, and after a lifetime of rushing around, it feels good to finally slow down. But here's what they don't tell you. When you stop moving, your body doesn't just rest. It begins to shut down. When your muscles go unused, they begin to shrink. Not over years, over weeks. Your circulation drops. Your bones weaken. Your digestion stalls. Your energy tanks. Your immune system doesn't get the oxygen it needs. Even your brain fogs up, all from too much sitting. And no, it doesn't have to be that way. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Just start small. Set a timer. Every 30 minutes, stand up and stretch. Take a few steps. Swing your arms. Rotate your ankles. It might feel silly at first, but your heart, lungs, and legs will thank you. Because sitting all day isn't rest. It's rehearsal for death. The second mistake is more invisible, but far more dangerous. It's social isolation. Loneliness has been linked to everything from heart attacks to Alzheimer's, but people shrug it off. I'm just a private person, they say. I don't need anyone. But that's not true. We all need someone. Not 5 people. Not a crowd. Just 1 or 2 meaningful, regular connections. Humans are social creatures, even if we get grumpy. The brain needs conversation like the body needs water. Without it, we dry up. Our memory fades. Our mood drops. Our blood pressure climbs. Our immune system crashes. All from being alone too long. And I know it's hard. Friends pass away. Family moves on. Neighbors change. Invitations dry up. But here's the truth most won't say out loud. Connection is your job now. Waiting for someone else to reach out is a losing game. Be the one who makes the call. Be the one who sends the text. Join a group, even if it feels awkward. Say yes, even when your instinct is to stay home. That effort is life-saving. Because if you don't feed your social life, it will starve you back. Now, mistake number 3 is sneaky. It sounds like wisdom, but it's really fear in disguise. It's the voice in your head that says, I'm too old for that. Too old to learn. Too old to travel. Too old to start over. It's the mental habit of shrinking your world down until it fits inside a television screen. And that's dangerous. Because when you stop learning, your brain starts dying. That's not an exaggeration. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to grow new connections, never goes away. But it needs challenge. It needs confusion. It needs you to be a beginner again. So ask yourself this. When was the last time you learned something new? I'm not talking about trivia. I mean something that made you sweat a little, something that frustrated you. That's the good stuff. That's the growth. Try a new hobby, learn a new dance, take a class online. Ask your grandchild how to use that confusing phone. Even reading a different kind of book stretches the mind. Curiosity is youth. The minute you lose it, age rushes in like a flood. Mistake number 4 might be the most underestimated one of all: bad sleep. Not just short sleep, unrestful, broken, shallow sleep. As we age, our sleep naturally changes. But too many people treat that change like a life sentence. They start saying things like, "I only sleep 4 hours these days," and wear it like a badge of honor. But sleep isn't optional. It's essential. It clears toxins from the brain. It resets hormones. It lowers inflammation. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired. It literally shortens your life. The solution isn't sleeping pills, which can make things worse. It's structure. Build a sleep routine. Go to bed at the same time each night. Avoid screens an hour before sleep. Dim the lights. Keep your room cool and dark. Use white noise if needed. Avoid caffeine after 2 in the afternoon. Try magnesium. Try gentle stretches. You don't have to do everything. Just try something. Because sleeping poorly every night is like walking into traffic and hoping for the best. Finally, we come to mistake number 5, and this one's the most tragic. It's giving up the future. It happens slowly. You stop planning. You stop dreaming. You stop setting goals. You stop seeing next year as something you'll be part of. And once your mind stops looking forward, your body starts winding down. It thinks its work is done, that it's time to fade. But let me say this plainly. As long as you are breathing, you have a future. I don't care if you're 72 or 91. You can still create. You can still love. You can still surprise people. You can still do something that makes your eyes light up. That's not delusion. That's biology. Purpose keeps people alive. When researchers study centenarians, those who live past 100, the one thing they all have in common isn't diet or exercise. It's purpose. A reason to get up. A reason to keep going. So find your reason. Grow tomatoes. Volunteer. Write letters to your grandkids. Paint. Pray. Adopt a rescue cat. Start a podcast. I don't care what it is, but do not, under any circumstances, hand your future away like it doesn't matter. Because if you don't claim it, no one else will. These 5 mistakes are the reason the 85% don't make it past 82. It's not fate. It's habits. But here's the good news. You're not stuck. You can change. One walk at a time, one phone call, one uncomfortable new thing, one good night of sleep, one tiny plan for tomorrow. And with each change, you join the 15%. The ones who live not just longer, but better. Let's go a little deeper into what makes the 15% different. Because it's not about being perfect. They're not saints. They're not drinking magic smoothies or sleeping in oxygen chambers. What they do is notice. They notice the little things most people ignore. They pay attention to patterns. They correct course when they veer off. They take responsibility for how they age instead of treating life like something that just happens to them. And the secret is, most of their habits are tiny, boring even. But done consistently, those boring choices become armor. Let me show you how. Let's go back to movement. There's a myth that you have to exercise hard to stay healthy. Not true. In fact, if you're over 65, intense workouts can sometimes backfire. What matters more is frequency. Movement spread throughout the day, The 15% do things like park farther away on purpose. They stand while talking on the phone. They keep light hand weights by their favorite chair. One gentleman I met does calf raises every time he waits for the microwave to finish. It sounds ridiculous, until you realize he's 91 and doesn't use a walker. The point is, they build motion into their lives like brushing their teeth. Not dramatic, just dependable. That's how they stay out of the hospital. That's how they keep their balance strong, their digestion steady, and their blood flowing like it's supposed to. The body doesn't need punishment. It needs partnership. Then there's the social side. The 15% are not necessarily extroverts. Some of them are deeply introverted, but they don't isolate. They have what I call a connection strategy. They don't leave relationships up to chance. One woman I know has a weekly phone schedule. She calls one grandchild on Mondays, her sister on Wednesdays, and an old coworker on Fridays. It's simple, but it gives her a rhythm of belonging. Another man volunteers at a community garden, not because he loves gardening, but because it gives him a reason to talk to others. They swap stories, trade tomatoes, and tease each other. It's low pressure. But those little moments build into something priceless, a sense of being seen. And that's what keeps people alive longer. Not just breathing, living. Now let's talk about the mindset around learning. This one's powerful. The 15% treat their brain like a muscle, not a museum. They don't preserve it behind glass and avoid stress. They flex it. They let it strain a little. That strain, that moment of, I don't get this, is gold. One man I interviewed started teaching himself Spanish at 78, not because he needed it, just because he could. Keeps the cobwebs off, he told me. Another woman joined a tech group where she learned to make digital scrapbooks. She said at first she felt like a fool. I didn't know what half the buttons meant, she laughed. But now, she's the one helping new members log in. That process of feeling dumb, pushing through, and eventually mastering something, that's cognitive magic. It grows neural pathways. It slows decline. It keeps your mind sharp enough to notice when something's wrong with your health, to speak up at the doctor's office, to remember your appointments and your medication. Brain fitness isn't trivia night. It's your survival. And then there's sleep, the underrated miracle drug. The 15% guard their sleep like a treasure. They don't just hope for rest, they plan for it. They have habits that cue the body to shut down and recover. Some use gentle music. Some journal before bed to clear the mind. One woman I spoke with sips chamomile tea in the same mug every night at 8. She calls it sending the bat signal to my brain. Her body now knows tea means bedtime is near. They also treat their bedroom like a sleep temple. No phones, no blinking clocks, no piles of laundry staring at them. Just peace, cool air, soft sheets, darkness. Your body can't rest in chaos. It needs signals, cues, repetition. If you struggle with sleep, look at your ritual. Is it rushed? Is it stressful? Are you falling asleep to noise and light? Change it. Your body is begging you to take rest seriously. When you don't, every other part of your health begins to unravel. And now, maybe the most important shift of all, the future mindset. The 15% refuse to be forgotten. They do not accept irrelevance. They stay curious. They make plans, even small ones. A friend of mine started a walking club in her neighborhood. Just 3 people. But she prints out routes, brings granola bars, takes photos. She turned it into an event. Why? Because it gives me something to look forward to, she said. That's everything. Another man writes postcards to his grandkids, not emails, postcards. I want them to remember my handwriting, he told me. That's not just sentiment, that's legacy. That's purpose. That's staying in the picture instead of quietly fading into the background. When people stop seeing themselves in the future, the body listens, it slows, it gives up. But when you say, "Next year I'll try this," or "Someday I want to go there," the body perks up. It leans in. It makes room for more life. That's not just poetic, it's biological. So where do you begin? Right now. Today. Pick one thing. Move your body for 10 minutes. Call someone you've been thinking about. Learn something that confuses you. Clean your bedroom like it's the most important space in your home. Or make one tiny plan for next week that excites you. That's how you beat the odds. Because the 85%? They're not doomed by fate. They're dragged down by habits. Habits they didn't know were dangerous. Habits they thought were harmless. But you know better now. You see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to wake up, to pay attention, to take your place among the 15% who say, "I'm not done yet." And if you've made it this far into the video, I've got a hunch you're one of them. One of the few who's not content with average, who's not ready to let the clock decide when your story ends. So do me one favor. Drop your city in the comments. Let me know where in the world you're fighting the good fight. Because you're not alone. There's an army of us, gray-haired, achy-jointed, wise and stubborn, still kicking, still learning, still laughing, and still very much alive. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'll be right here every week reminding you just how much life you've got left to live.